So what we have here is the Eflite P51D Mustang 1.2 meter. Cripes Almighty. Third, the blue and silver. This is not by any measure give you a look at the whole box. This is not a new aircraft. It's not even new to me for that matter. I've been having this thing for a very long time. And just one thing came after the next, which kept on keeping me away from this project of getting this done. Not that this is a major build, it just other things took priority and dealing with this and tweaking this and tweaking that. So I'm really still in the middle of a lot of that stuff, but I just wanted to get this thing up because I never had this will be the first real nice Mustang I've ever had. I do have a racer. I do have a racer Mustang that's really nice. It's in the same series as that red one right on the wall. But that's a 1.1, this is 1.2. Lots of differences. This is got all the safe mode, all the refinement that came from Eflite. So nothing comparing those two. So that's just a quick talk about the box. I'm about to open this up and get into it. So, just an overview. All right, as soon as you open the box, this is what you see. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything out of here. As usual, the refinement of the Eflite boxes. Look how that sits in there, perfectly milled for the wing to sit in. Just had to mention that. That's everything sprawled out, just so you get a look at the parts count. Quite a few if you count things like the drop tanks. Little sack of goodies, screws, the antenna. Looks like the prop hub. Yep, there we are. All right, first step as always, put the elevators on. You got 4 long screws. Obviously that's gonna be the wing. Got a cute little bind plug. You got 2 screws that are small and 1 screw that's threaded in machine threads and longer. So obviously these 2 small ones are gonna be for the tail. All right, get the pieces. Slide this rod in here. Slip this in where it makes sense, where there's a perfect round circle for it. Slide it underneath. This little cutout is where this little area that's recessed a little bit goes into, and send it home. Now the problem I had, I think the P47 was made exactly like this, and you can see it happening right there. The little paint kind of gets flicked off, so kind of be careful when you're pushing it in that you don't scrape anything else. But that's it. I'm gonna get that put in, and of course once you're satisfied with the way it fits, put the screws in. All right, got those 2 in. I kind of wrinkled this elevator portion right here. You see it? Trying to push this in, and it kind of folded up a little bit on me. I quickly aborted once I felt it giving, but I got a wrinkle there now. So of course, never a perfect situation. You don't want that on a brand new bird. The next step is to flip it over and go ahead and insert the wing and get that in position. Just to mention, I spent a few minutes kind of doing it before I came back to show you guys. But you can see like certain areas of the tape, the silver tape, are like sticking up. So you might want to pay attention, because once the air pushes over the surface in the air, it probably peel it back more and get dirty and won't stick. So I'm just take and rub all of the stickers down, because it's been in the box for who knows how long and through heat and cool or whatever. So just get all the stickers down. Nothing unusual going on here. I fed all the wires through the hole, and I'm gonna push this back until I get in, and it seats right in. Nice tight fit. I'm gonna go ahead and sit this down and not let the wings touch anything, so I can get the 4 screws in. So I put the wing on, and then I went into the gear area, because that's what I want to do next. I already know that some people have well, I don't know about other videos and such. I haven't watched any, to be totally honest, but I know that people at my field, one guy in particular, he had one from brand new, and it had a lot of issues with nosing over for landings, and I've had the same experience with my Focke-Wulf. It is a E-Flite bird, which actually is not really E-Flite. It was before, it was Park Zone, but Park Zone E-Flite, however that transaction went. But anyway, it nosed over a lot. Long story short, I know these nose over a lot. So rather than go out there and have the nose over a lot on my brand new nose cone, I'm gonna do my best effort to avoid that. I'm gonna put 4 of these washers on here to rake these gear forward. And I don't know of any adverse effects can happen from having too much rake on a gear. I mean, maybe the prop might hit the ground or something if you get too low by raking too far forward. But like I say, as of now, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And if it is, I could always take some out. So I'd rather have them in and figure it out, and then I could remove them instead of having to not have them while I'm at the field. I could always pull these out at the field, whereas I don't carry these. Well, I do carry these with me at the field. But anyway, long story short, I'm putting these washers. Maybe if some people have not had any raking experience, I am going to put these washers on the underside of the gear housing, which would cause the whole housing to shift forward. If by that tilting forward mechanism happening is what we call raking of the gear. I don't know if there's another term that's more appropriate, but I'm going with 4 washers. That could be too much. You can see how I have them configured there. Let me get my pointer. Yeah, so like there's the screw, there's the 4 washers, there's the screw, there's the 4 washers, and I'm only doing this on the back side of the wing. Yeah, so like this is the front of the aircraft. I want the gear to rotate forward. So then I don't understand why is it such a hard concept. I'll do this on camera instead of, because I want to talk about this, but I'll do this while I'm talking, so it's not just talking with no movement or no other purpose. So I don't know why, but like some people can't grasp the concept of raking them forward in reference to the hole where the gear go in at. But raking the gear doesn't change anything about the hole. All it is changing the geometry of the way it comes out. And yeah, it could, if you go too far with the rake, it could drag the sides, which could happen here. I don't know. But I haven't had that actually be an issue, so I don't, you know, I don't consider it to be something to be really looking for a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten the front screws down with no washers. The front screws have no washers, so they will go flush like they were, and the back will sit up a little bit, which will cause the gear to go further towards the front of the aircraft. I hope I'm translating that clear, because I know like even at my field, a lot of people have a hard time grasping the concept of raking the gear and what it does to settle the aircraft down. But once I do it for them and they see the results that they're not nosing over, they're pretty happy whether they understand it or not. Okay, so that's all I need to say about that. I don't want to make a super long video for no reason. So inside the bird, you're going to have the wires you pass through from the wing. As you can see, the wires that were already installed, the tail wires are already installed in the receiver. The number 1 channel is installed in the receiver. And you also have this yellow line from the speed control, which I never really researched this. I'd like to know. So if anybody knows in the comments, let me know. But I think that's for reverse thrust, but this is Eflite, so you don't need it for reverse thrust if you're using the Eflite, you know, speed control and receiver. But if you can use that with other non-spectrum setups, I'd like to know that if anybody's tried it. Otherwise, it's probably some type of a programming wire, but either way, I don't know what it is, so no big deal. No harm, no foul. I don't know. I'll quickly save that. All right, I'm gonna get this mess of wires figured out and get it neat. Come back. Due to the fact that I might be taking the wing off at some point, because you can fit a lot more aircraft in the van when you have the wings off, I just hang up the fuse by the tail wheel like a meat hanger, you know, like a, you know, Rocky movie or whatever. And then I take all the wings and kind of lay them flat. That usually works out very well for me, especially when we're going on like a trip to Monroe. Man, one time we fit like, sheesh, ungodly amount of stuff in the van that we didn't think we could from that method. So anyway, there's this series of 1.2 millimeter birds that Eflite put out. This I believe is the newest because it has this cool little tray for your battery. So you take the battery, you strap it in, you slide it in a tray, it locks, and you know you're good. You can kind of adjust your CG But for the most part, you snap it in and you don't worry about it. Once you get your CG, you kind of keep it at that mark. Maybe mark the tray. I don't know, the tray is kind of short, but anyway, you get a feel for where your battery goes, lock it in, boom, boom, boom. That seems like a cool concept to me. I don't know how well the little snaps work, especially if you had a crash, which if you had a crash, obviously all bets off anyway, but the battery will probably fly out of there if you have a crash. But in this 1.2 series, you have the T28, you have the Mustang, you have the Corsair, and you have the Razorback, the P47. I have the Corsair. Obviously, anybody who watches any of my videos probably already know that it's one of my, I like the body style. I love the way they look. So I have the Corsair. I have the P47. The P47 is actually my favorite as far as the way they fly. I haven't flown this my own yet. I've flown my buddies at the field. Here's some more of that sticker stuff that's coming up, so I'll rub this down while we're talking. But the P47 with those wide stance landing gear and dramatic flap system is probably the best flyer, I think. Now, I'm gonna get this in the air and give you my opinion that, you know, which way it goes as far as that. But for right now, I don't think the P47 can be beat as far as cool flyability. Now, it is cool looking also, so I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. Both of them are silver. I don't know. We'll have to see. The Mustang was more legendary by far, so I guess we'll have to see that as we go. But that's kind of everything so far. I got this stuff kind of tidied up. I'm not going to tidy up any more than that because of that. I talked about the battery tray. I'm going to probably at this point refer back to the book and see. They're probably going to just make me put the prop on at this point. And I have to center the surfaces, power this thing up. But I'm not going to put the prop on. I'm going to kind of wait on that part. Usually I would because I just hit throttle cut. But I'm going to go ahead and download the model from the from Eflite or whatever. Not download, but, you know, look inside of here and see if I can find it. And then get it set up. So there is a template for it. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I didn't want to do that. I'm gonna have to go over again. Trying to show you guys I tapped the wrong button because I'm not centered on my screen. All right, so I got the model loaded. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the last one in a row. Is that, proceed. So, all right, now I'm on the model. Let's see. No audio event.
Gear down.
Okay.
Gear up. Throttle cut off. Throttle cut on. Rudder low rate. Rudder, aileron high. Gear down.
So I really
Elevator low, elevator high rate.
like using these templates that they give you just because they give you the free call outs. Otherwise, you got to go enter them all yourself, and I normally don't feel like doing that. Let's see if it has this. It doesn't have the throttle on thing or timer start, timer stop. Might have it after I set. No, there is a timer started, and it's actually working. So hey, it doesn't have the timer start, timer stop thing. I love that. So the raking is in place. I don't know if I could show you because you didn't see it beforehand, but you can see that that's sticking up a little bit. So showing you that it's moved in a forward kind of position, and to show you that it works without any obstruction. So it goes right in the same wheel well. You're just changing the way it goes in. You're not making it not center anymore. And my wheels are still in the hole nice and tidy. So that's the way that goes. My servos were humming quite a bit, but now they have calmed down. I don't know what that was about, but it wasn't stress on the, yeah, there they go again. This tends to happen sometime, and I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Normal mode.
Sometimes it's just because the machine hadn't been run, been sitting in the box forever. These circuits need some time to run. Now I'm gonna go ahead and center the elevator and the rudder. I don't need to do that off on camera. You guys know what this is about. I'm just gonna get it centered and put the clevis on. Right now I'm just going through all the surfaces. I guess maybe kind of nitpicking because Eflite usually has this stuff very locked down. And everything was fairly flat, but a half a turn on that flap to get it flush right here at the edge, at the matching the body frame basically, where the P51 comes out. And a half a turn on this aileron on this side. So 1/2 turn here, 1/2 turn here, just to get everything fully flat. I got the rudder, kind of was a little bit off. I think I got it close. The wheel was a little bit off too, so I kind of got that. That's usually something that I'm gonna have to do out there at the field because I have a hard time eyeing it up. I like to have somebody to help me. That way they can eyeball it from the back and I can hold it in my hand and put the screw in and kind of hold it tight, don't let go, and kind of get it. That's my method. But anyway, use whatever one you want. But like, yeah, right now I'm just nitpicking a few little things and getting the flaps the way I want them. I don't want the, a lot of that humming can be calmed down. I'm still getting some, but I want these to be flat. So I don't care about that hum. I don't care if and if you hear now, like, it'll come in and it'll stop. So see, it stopped, but it'll come back a little bit. So I'm not gonna concern myself with that. It's gonna do some humming, and I think it might get better as I fly the bird. I usually find that does happen. So I'm gonna get the midpoint, which is usually not an issue, and this is all set up by Eflite, so it's usually pretty close to right. So, and then, but it is humming there. Like I said, it's just gonna be something that you're gonna happen. That's mid throw and it's humming, so that's gonna probably be an issue that can't be solved by trimming. So let me get everything set up. Be right back. At this point, I got two things left: the antenna and the prop nut. Let's see how the antenna fits. Yeah, it fits pretty tight, so I'll probably just leave it stuck in there and not glue it. I don't see a need for it, so I'm not gonna glue it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the prop on. All right, I need the back part of that, obviously. And that servo is still humming, as you can hear. So just kind of dealing with that, I guess. A little bit of an aggravation, but I'll live, I suppose. I need a small Allen wrench to tighten that down. Got that done. My throttle cut is on. It's a Phillip. So of course, the last thing to go, I'm gonna go ahead and get this spinner on. You know what? I think I'm gonna put the stickers. I got stickers I want to put on this prop. All right. Got my prop back. Put the prop nut back on. Use my prop tool. Get that fairly tight because I am going to put reverse thrust, so probably not going to need it, but I like to put it, so you know, whatever. Your opinion on that is whatever. So some people feel like it's stupid on a prop plane. I just feel like it's there, might as well use it type thing, you know. I don't ever get to a point where I feel like, you know, sometimes on our field you might end up going into the grass, you know. If you had that reverse thrust, you go ahead and kick it on, and you're not really affected by the grass as much because of that. Alrighty, let's spin this big boy and see what it looks like. Now, oddly enough, the flaps go down as soon as I plug this bird in every time. Don't know what that's about. Never experienced that on any other birds. So just kind of mentioning. All right, throttle cut, nothing on. All right, air's coming back. So we're spinning the right direction. Looks very well balanced, I'd say. So at this point, I can go ahead and set that reverse thrust up. I'm gonna just set this up off camera. If you wanna see how the reverse thrust goes, look at my P47 video. I cover it there, probably cover it in the Corsair. I'm gonna just set it up because, you know, if you need to see it, it's in there, how to do it and how I do mine. So I don't wanna waste a lot of time on this video for that. So that's the whole enchilada. Very cool. The gear are very much so raked forward. Hoping for the best on that. When this thing is level, the gear are still fairly much a lot forward. That should keep the tail from wanting to come up. All right, so that's the whole thing. I got aileron good, my rudder good, elevator good. I got. I was already in reverse, but I didn't name it correctly. It's still called rudder. But I'm going forward. You can see the aircraft even moving forward. And then I'm going to hit it. not really enough to really push it back, but yeah, there it goes. Rolling back. I have the third setting as like, that's what like 0 throttle, so that if I get into a moment, I'm gonna have to hold the bird, but if I get into a moment, I can hit this. I tend to not, I would set this on 100% for that emergency step, but I find with prop planes, it's not good to have it at 100% because it's still kind of throttle based. I can show you that perhaps. So if I'm coming in for a landing, right, I'm going really slow on my, just probably keeping some air going across the surfaces. And then if I go to full reverse, if it was 100%, then this thing would, you see, it's still gonna give you something. So you might end up, weird things happen with a plane when you give it way too much in reverse thrust on landing. So I've learned to keep that kind of low and then kind of work my way into it after a few landings, if I use it at all. Sometimes these ones, like, man, with these flaps, they come in so soft and slow, you almost stop immediately. So that's it, reverse thrust setup. Oh, safe mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold the bird so you can see. I'm gonna hit that throttle cut.
Throttle cut.
All right, so then I'm gonna turn that way. All right, as you see, that aileron went up. I'm gonna turn the bird, and that's it. It's right about there. It's stopping me completely. I can't go any further. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna go down. Then when I get back to level, it's gonna level out itself. So safe mode is active. Let's check AS3X. I got it assigned to this knob, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip it from safe to AS3X, and I can see it's still working. I got my third position as nothing, so like the bird is quiet, right? The second one is no safe, so that I'm gonna show you the safe again. All right, you see that control surface is up. We'll turn it. The bird isn't stopping me, right? That means I got full control. But AS3X is on. All right. So to check my AS3X surfaces, I'm gonna go up on this wing, and this control surface should gonna go up. And there's a section in AS3X and in forward programming to kind of dramatically show you that these control surfaces is good. Let me go ahead and do that since I'm here. I'm gonna go to forward programming. As soon as you get into forward programming, you can go into other settings. Nope, none of those. Gyro settings, system setup. Hand launch assist orientation channel. It's in here somewhere. Bear with me. Bear with me. Nose wheel. Somewhere. Oh, utilities. Somewhere in there. Yep. Gyro response test. Hit that. So now I'm gonna let the radio down. Any movement of the bird is gonna be real dramatic. So see how I lift that wing up, and the control surface stayed there. Same thing with the tail. So right level, it kind of stays level. Any up movement, the tail is going. When I hit the rudder to the right, it goes right, left, to left. So everything is working. My corrections are completely right. So from that point, you're satisfied with that. This is just a test system. When you let out of there, it doesn't save anything. It doesn't do anything past there. Your stuff goes back to normal. On the flip side, if I get out of forward programming altogether, back to main screen, I have my AS3X set to a knob. So like right now, it's moving, but it's not moving a lot, right? But if I put it all the way up, it's more dramatic where I can see it. I used before this new AS3X Plus stuff with this that section I just brought you into in the utilities. I used to use this to make sure that my AS3X was right, and then I could turn this knob, and then on a windier day I could kind of maybe see if dialing in some more. But if you turn this off all the way, there's nothing. So AS3X is completely off right now. So if I give the knob the slightest turn, then AS3X is back on. You get very little movement, but it's moving. But the more I gain it, now you really hear it. So yep, AS3X Plus works just like AS3X. Originally with my F-22 Raptor, I thought that it wasn't turning off anymore, but that was a mistake on my part, and my flight showed it, and that was actually corrected. So now I haven't flown the Raptor again since then, but I need to get it out there so I can test that that theory was correct, and I know it is, because basically what I had done, some kind of way I had hit capture gains, and it was captured probably at a super high setting like mid or something, because the bird is oscillating completely terrible. So it was captured gains and they were fixed at that point. So I went in back in, I put them to the knob and adjust again, and now I should have a good time with the Raptor, getting it kind of stopping the oscillating. I went through so many flights with that, trying to figure out, you know, like maybe 6 flights. Not a lot of flights, I would say, but so many flights with it like that, and I just didn't take the time to go into forward programming and fix it. So anyway, not that bird, talking about this bird. I think this is completely it. Everything is checked. It's fully ready to fly. I can't wait. Like, you know, excited about this bird. It's very beautiful. Check out those landing gear going in. Completely inside the housing. This right here is completely, it's a little different from wheel to wheel, which, you know, kind of variations from the factory will be like that. This one's kind of got a little, I don't know, both of them are seated pretty good though. So anyway, I got them canted forward more. I got my drop tanks on, fuel tanks. Look like it'll sit on the fuel tanks a little bit. That's pretty cool. Forgot to talk about CG. I'm gonna get my trusty stickers. There's a light powder blue sticker, and I could probably use a red on this. You know what? I was gonna use silver and do silver on silver. Let me see what the red. Yeah, the red actually matches the stuff that they already have on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the red. I'm gonna pick up one with my X-Acto knife, get it on the tip of the X-Acto knife, get my trusty ruler. This is not my trusty ruler, to be honest with you. Measuring from the absolute furthest point on the wing for the measurement. I'm gonna go back the width of the ruler from that point, which is a hard thing to measure usually. Alright, and the measurement is 85, and it says 85 plus or minus 3, so I'm gonna put it right at 85 and know that I can go forward and backward. I'm gonna get another ruler. This ruler, I don't know where it comes from, but I don't like it. This can kind of be trivial from one person to the next, but you're not supposed to bend the ruler around the surface. I just find that these kind of fabric rulers work better. So I'm gonna hold it even with the beginning of the wing, and eyeball it from there. Then I'm gonna come back to the 85 point, and I think I'm gonna go right up to this line. There's a body line right there. I'm gonna get it directly lined up on that body line with the 85. All right. Then I'm gonna put my finger here, and the length of the width of the tape will be where my dot starts, and that's it. So I'm gonna just do the same thing on the other side. That concludes everything. I got a 3S30C Spectrum and a 4S Ovonic Air 2200. Both of them seem to balance well at far as forward as it could go. I guess there's not much difference between those two batteries in weight. So I guess I'm gonna try it far as forward as it can go, and then probably just move back from there and try to kind of see, because I don't want it to be nose heavy, especially with the tipping over thing. So I might even actually move it back a little bit before the first takeoff. I'll figure that out at the field. But this was an easy build, nothing big, nothing to talk about. Everything I talked about is already on the video. Thank you for watching. I hope if you're maybe thinking about getting one of these, this is a video that will kind of give you a look at what's going on with it and see if you like something or don't like something. I tried to show all the best of the details that I could show. The canopy is very detailed. That's a cool thing. Inside, I covered I got the wire management kind of down a little bit. That's about it. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you watch this and then watch the flight, or most people probably just want to see the flight. Only look at this if you're trying to buy one and you just want to see what the deal is with putting it together. I got the AS3X Plus on here, so that should be cool. And I'll see you at the field.